Okay.
Okay, so, Mal, okay, so first question, obviously we're going to crack it. I've known you for a very long time, too long some would say.
Oh.
On your behalf, not mine. I learned an awful lot from you growing up. But who is Mal? Who are you? Like, who is Mal Lee? As if people that don't know you, who are who is the face of Stoke Castellan? But who are you, like?
Well, Mal Lee, yeah, obviously going back so many years ago, Wayne, it was I had no intention of getting involved in grassroots football, believe it or not. We're talking 40 odd years in grassroots football, and what it was, I've got me lad Michael, as you know yourself, who eventually wanted to get into a football team, and it was at the Jeffrey Humble, Walton Caretale, before all the hubs were all built and what have you, that I actually got him into a team called the County. And what it was a B team. We all know about A and B teams, and what they reckon is the B team, I don't want to play them, and that's the rubbish team, and the A team was the best team. Well, it was one of those things where the only way I could get him into a football team, the manager asked me, would I put him in there, you know, would I coach them, and you can start them off. Well, it was an amazing thing. I'd never been involved in grassroots football. It was hard to get involved in grassroots football. It was one of those things where you thought, oh my God, could I face this? Could I do this? Never been in management before. And lo and behold, cut a long story short, I did. I actually started the team. And to be honest, the team were in odd socks, odd shorts, odd shirts. We've all seen it, all been there. They had nothing basically. And the A team had everything, because that was the glory team, and the manager was all about glory. So I didn't like that. I didn't like it one little bit, and the teams were all just getting together, getting to know each other. And what happened, we were getting beat 15, 20, 30, you put a score on it. It was one of those things when we started it. And it was just, I wanted to see the kids enjoying themselves, but they're never going to enjoy themselves while they're turning up to be the mugs basically, to be the fall guys, to be the team that everyone laughs at, and to be the team that everyone wanted to beat and play, because they were scoring as many goals as they could. We became a laughing stock. So one day I decided to go out and buy them a brand new football kit. I got them the brand new football kit. People looked at us because it looked good and all, saying, why have you got this football kit on the kids? We beat every week. Then the coaching started slowly but surely. Then the scores started coming down. Then the goals started going in, because the kids felt confident. The kids felt wanted, and that was being part of a football team. And when we eventually came to play the derby game, it ended up 2-2, and the manager was totally shocked, wanted to take some of the players out of my team to put in his team. None of the kids wanted to go. The parents started loving me, the parents started believing in me, and the kids started believing in me. And that's, lo and behold, how I started in grassroots football. And it went from bigger to better, and then I started seeing referees getting verbally abused, the aggressive behaviour. I'm only going into grassroots side of things because this is where it all started, with Don't Cross the Line. And there's a massive story in that one with the kids when we started up. And that, Wayne, as you know yourself, you played for me, and yeah, I had a bit more experience then. I started getting used to the referees, I started getting used to the rules, the regulations, and I started becoming a committee member. I started getting into grassroots football a little bit more, and it was starting to bite me. My lads started playing better, people started to play better, people started to look at us, take notice to us, and as I say, the parents loved us, and we moved up in the ranks, and we eventually went on.
Michael played the year above, didn't he? Michael played in our.
He did, yeah.
And he was the years below it. And I remember the conversation, you came to us and asked what we thought. And I remember it was really like, for us, we'd never been asked a question like that before. It was quite growing up of us to be asked by the manager, should we take this player? And we obviously, it's your son, but you and Dave just said to us, don't forget about the connection. Do you think he's good enough? And we all said, yeah, he was. He handled himself really, really well in every game. He never made a mistake. And he did well, and he went on for the season with what we won. We won a couple of cups with RSA, didn't we? So
we did.
It was really good. So just before you started touching on that then, but I think Jaden's got a question just on, as you were just about to touch on on this question anyway. Go on, Jay, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, what made you start Don't Cross the Line and all this?
Well, being on the committee going back in 2003, it was the Anfield Junior Football League, and that, lo and behold, was between Liverpool Football Club and Everton Football Club. Stanley Park, we all know Stanley Park. That's where the games all took place, and it was in the Anfield Junior League, as I say. And what I'd witnessed, it was getting to know all the teams, getting to know all the players, getting to know all the managers, and starting to learn. And it was a bumpy hill, to be honest, playing football at the Anfield Junior League. It was never flattened. Games were uphill and downhill. But witnessing one day a free-for-all, under-14s, wanting to fight each other over scorelines, wanting to chase the referee, parents wanting to chase the referee, who actually did chase the referee, that made my mind up to try and start something. In 2003, if you look back in your history, there was no campaigns going to stop any sort of violence, abuse, aggressive behaviour, bullying, on and off the field of play. And it was then that I mentioned, when we stopped all this, we helped the referee to get, he packed in, by the way, incidentally. He did not go back to football. He was too frightened.
Shame.
And the way the police handled things, it was about an hour, 2 hour, come, took a few notes, everyone had dispersed then. But we were thankful that we stopped a real bad incident happening with the committee. That frightened us a little bit. And we did say to the referee that we were going to go home and start a campaign. And
Just on that,
yeah.
Because 2003, obviously, you're saying that there was no campaigns around, and look how long. I mean, like, it took a while for it to get bigger than where it is now. Because I'm thinking, Kick It Out started in 1993, and even in 2003, you didn't really know about it. No one did.
No.
And that's 10 years since Kick It Out started. So then, when you're having to start a charity on obviously respect and respecting referees and stuff like that, but you think obviously Kick It Out was for obviously racism and racist terms, but it's still down the respect line, isn't it? It's still about respecting people and just human beings, and chasing referees around into car parks isn't really respectful. But so it must have took a lot of effort and a lot of doors getting closed in your face, just like obviously the Kick It Out campaign has had. And really now it's only just really blown up in the past 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And what we've just been through this year, Kick It Out's now really in every single person's, like, people like that probably wouldn't even know what Kick It Out was until he sees it on Sky Sports this year, with regards to what's gone on over in the States, and then obviously the movement. So what doors and that would close in your face, and how hard did you have to sort of work to get people to, well, how loud did you have to shout?
Well, do you know what, Wayne? That is a brilliant question, because I can honestly turn around and tell you that no doors were ever closed in my face. What it was perseverance, it was being pushy, and it was not giving up. We've talked about this in some of the shows that you've done. Yeah. Don't ever give up. Always believe in your dreams, in what you can achieve. And I just saw that there was something out there that we needed. When I wrote everything down about Don't Cross the Line, and I put it to Liverpool Football Club and Everton, they did laugh. They did say Everton were the first on board, who turned around, and this is what it was, and I'll tell you the guy's name at Everton. He set me up a meeting. I went into that meeting, his name was David Connor. The man turned round, turned his back on me in the canteen, in a little meeting room, and he turned around and said, "Go on, carry on, we have thousands of people coming in with ideas, and unfortunately we have to knock them back because they're worthless. I'll just make myself a cup of coffee." This is his words. So he said, "You carry on talking." I carried on talking, and within 5 minutes he turned round, he stopped, and he asked me, "Did I want a cup of coffee?" He said, "I've never heard anything like this. I want to hear more." I read out every line that I put in, what I wanted to do and what I wanted to achieve and what was my goal. And they were on board. Once he'd heard that, he said, "This is the first campaign," and he thinks the worthwhile campaign that we can sit there and help out him. 48 hours later, it was all in print, and I was at Liverpool Football Club. And because Everton had joined forces, Liverpool was straight on board, without a doubt. And they were the big two, and they're still on board now, 18 years on, supporting our REFspect don't cross the line, and all the work we do. But all the big boys now on board, all the governing bodies, it's because I didn't give up. It's because I picked the phone up. People started to get to know. When you get that first person on board, that's when others follow suit and start believing in it. And achievement, you see where it's gone to now. We're in
The lone nut, I like to call it, the lone nut.
There you go. Yes, yeah. Bring that up
Cool.
again.
Brilliant, thank you. Connor, have you got a question for Mal?
Yeah, what is your relationship with the FA?
Brilliant question.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I can pick a phone up now and I can tell him to talk to an FA official if I wanted to. They'd answer the phone, they never put the phone down. And that's the good thing about being pushy and being giving perseverance to everyone. You know, you've got to realise, you've got to be nice, and it is nice to be nice. You've got to get these people on board, and you've got to get them to respect what you do and what you achieve. And you can only see the way we've been established since 2003. They are all over us, but when you say what's our relationship with all these governing bodies, there's not one of them who puts money into don't cross the line. We have to go cap in hand. We have to achieve what we achieve by doing it ourselves with volunteers. We need to get on board with the likes of all junior football leagues who are all volunteers themselves and understand where we're coming from. We're a not-for-profit organisation, which means that we're next to a charity and we're run by volunteers, and everything we do will go back into grassroots football. Now the FA is what we believe. They're all supporting what we do here. You won't see the FA putting it all over their websites. They've never done it once before. You'll see the PFA, the Premier League, the PGMOL. When I say the PGMOL, that is your match officials, and it stands for the Premier Game Match Officials. They're the Premier Leagues. These are the referees, the assistants that go out week in, week out of Premier League games. But the FA, yeah, it's a good relationship with all football's governing bodies. Not a penny comes across. Maybe you could all write up and say, I think you should give Mal and don't cross the line a few grand.
Actually, do you think they could be doing more for this? Because obviously, like, I obviously don't know if they give money to like other organisations like Kick It Out and so on. We wouldn't know that, but obviously Sky have got a big backing with that now because obviously of what's gone on in the past 12 months. Could it not be? That hasn't come from the FA.
No.
And you constantly see representatives from Kick It Out complaining, same complaint what you just get, that there's no support coming from the FA on these major issues and major sort of campaigns that are trying to protect our young grassroots football, like we've got on the call today, our interviews.
Well, going back on one thing, in 2009 when I won the REFspect Award, or REFspect Award, I was the first ever winner to do that with the FA. That was like sort of like, bring them on board, well done Mal. But I did get, I think it was £1,000 off them for winning that award. That went right back into grassroots football. Now that was the only time that the FA had awarded us something, and that was from Dermot Collins. He was brilliant, Dermot. He saw everything about us. It's a pity he's not still with the FA. He was the man who wanted to push me through and get more out of it. But unfortunately, chopping and changing within the FA, they don't want to give any grassroots jobs to anyone who's around and about, doing it, working on the touchlines, working week in, week out, day in, day out, making sure that everything is safe. Because there's a lot of the officials who will sit in an office behind a desk and run things from there. But thousands of volunteers, as you say, Wayne, you're the volunteer yourself, you're running the football team as well, you know what it's all about. You do it in your own time, you don't take any payment, no one does, because you believe in what the kids are doing. And yeah, I do believe that there should be a lot more done with all these football's governing bodies. They're saying that they're building hubs, they're building this, they're putting this into grassroots football, but they've got to look into organisations who've been working for many years on a shoestring, on a thread, and making sure that we go out and get lottery grants to try and help us. But when you get something like that, they take a back seat and say, well, they're getting help, so they don't need our help. And I know where you're coming from.
I get that. I think, I exactly where you're coming from there. Cool, okay, thank you. Danny, got any questions for Mal?
Yeah, I do actually. So, Why did you decide on the name Don't Cross the Line and REFspect?
Right, that's a great, yeah.
Great
Dan, yeah, he got me last week as well, Dan. He really sussed these out, I must admit. Well, Dan, it was unusual. We're casting my mind back just before when I was talking to Everton and Liverpool. The name for Don't Cross the Line, I was watching a programme once, it was a police programme, and I saw this tape, and you've seen the tape where it states, do not cross this line.
Yeah.
And it just brought into my head, if I brought something out, don't cross the line, being the touch line itself, being where we all take the throw-ins, you know where that's coming from, I just thought, hang on, if I put this together as don't cross the line, and we call that campaigning, people will get the message, people will start standing back, because we all know what don't cross the line means anyway. Don't overstretch things, don't overpower people, don't do anything that's wrong. That's what the sayings come from. And where I got the name from, it was funny because when I was writing it, and it took 48 hours, I've got to thank the wife Shirley because she was brilliant. I put in CROSS, and she just said, well look, why don't you just put the X in? Because years and years ago, I think Wayne, you should know, everyone used to say, when you're doing the football pools, you put an X there, you put a cross in, and it was Littlewoods pools and Vernons who used to say, put a cross in the box. It used to be called a cross. So we put that in, don't X the line. It was more abbreviated, yeah, it's great, and it gets the message across more, and it helped us out on the logo, rather than just a full text. And what was the second part of the question? The REFspect. And the REFspect come into it, obviously when people take your ideas, if you come up with programmes, people, and Wayne should know this as well, people will always be sitting around the corner. You've got to protect everything that you come up with. You've got to try and protect your ideas. Always safeguard them, because people out there will take them as their ideas. And that's what happens with Don't Cross the Line. Everyone took what we done, we didn't write it down, and we were the forerunner for the REFspect programme. They admitted it, not on camera, but face to me, all the governing bodies there did know that they took all my ideas, but that didn't bother me because I believed in it. I had the passion to go forward, I had the passion to try and help the children, and I had the passion to make this work, and that's what I've done 18
and sometimes
years ago.
If your ideas are there and it's being for the greater good, it's nice that they've sort of took them in a way.
Yeah.
It's not all about, sometimes I know you feel this way, as long as it's helping the greater good and the grassroots football. It's not about Mal Lee, it's not about me, it's not about REFspect, it's about the kids, isn't it? And I think that's obviously your every time I've spoken to you and worked with you, it's all about them.
It is.
Regardless of what happens. Otherwise you wouldn't give so much time.
And this is where, just to finish Dan's question off there, REFspect came into it because everyone on the touchline, the referee is the target. That referee becomes a target of free kicks, penalties, throw-ins. Everyone likes to argue with that referee. The referee always gets everything wrong on one line, and then it's vice versa. Whatever goes for you, you're all happy with. Whatever goes against you, you disrespect the referee. So respect is the word. So I decided to put in REFspect because people understand what it's about. And when you protect the referee, you're also protecting the kids, as Wayne just explained there. It is all about the kids, because while mum and dad and all these irate spectators are shouting and effing and blinding towards the referee, that is when the message comes across to the kids. They overhear it. They don't like to hear it. They just want to play football and develop their skills. They need to play football. They need to learn. But what they don't need is to learn the verbal abuse that the irate spectators are showing and shouting towards the referee, blaming that referee. So that's where the word REFspect came into it. So basically, the target is the referee. We protect the referees from the irate fans, just help them. If they can get a game in without verbal abuse, that also helps the kids on the football pitch as well.
Brilliant. Okay then, so we've just been discussing a couple of questions. So what's the future then hold? What's the future? There's two parts to this question. What's the future hold for the REFspect and Don't Cross the Line? And also, what challenges do you think that are going to be put in your way, not only for your campaign, but basically in football in general? What challenges are we going to be coming up in the next 5 years?
Well, the future obviously is, when we started this 18 years ago, when you touched on it before, it's taken so long. We put on 25 years, we said, we'll be doing this campaign for, before you probably really do start seeing a difference. Well, it's come a little bit earlier, because you've seen the hubs built, you've seen the people standing behind these railings now, and they are protected a little bit more, but the grass is gone. And I'm old school, I love the grass football, and I think that's when you go and you make it in the big time, that's when you go and play on grass. It's a different game altogether, not 3G, not 4G. But what we want to do there is try and carry that forward. So we still got a lot of time in Don't Cross the Line, we still want to build it, we still want to make in strides and maybe get funding with these governing bodies, football's governing bodies. But the good thing about it, there's more referee organisations coming on board. We've touched lucky now, I think we found a sponsor to help us with the referee award at the end of the season. It's a national campaign, it's even going into Northern Ireland as well. We've got some, and the MLS, by the way, if you check that out, they've got Don't Cross the Line. I sent them all the details. They opened up with Don't Cross the Line with all the professional footballers, and they never gave us any gratitude. They used the name Don't Cross the Line in their campaign. But I'm proud of that, and that is where we want to be. We want all football's governing bodies all over the world to recognise what we've done, and we want to try and put more into it. We want to introduce more into Don't Cross the Line. We'll come up with ideas each time, and we want to try and put in the likes of young commentators, young kids, the likes of the lads here who are on tonight, who can come out with us, who can commentate, who can ask the parents why they behave the way they do on the touchline. They will improve the game, because the kids, the youngsters, and they want to develop their skills, so they can start asking their friends, bringing in their teams to say, do you know what, this is a campaign worthwhile. We need to protect our future referees, many of them under 14 years of age, going up to under 18s. We need to protect all referees, and the future is bright for Don't Cross the Line, because as I say, more and more people are recognising us. Now, what was the second part of the question there, Wayne?
What challenges you think we're going to be we're going to have to overcome in the next 5 years in football in general that could affect campaigns like yourself? Well,
obviously challenges. What are we all doing tonight? We're all on a social media ban, aren't we? From 3 p.m. till Tuesday. We've actually put ourselves forward on that one, because football governing bodies support the work that we're doing in REFspect. So we've had a tough week. We cannot really publicise it right the way through on social media. But the likes of Liverpool and Everton, they're putting it on. They're putting it in the programme tomorrow, Everton at their game. They put it on Twitter tonight. Obviously that'll be down now, or it may still be on it. And also Liverpool Football Club put a big piece on their website, and that will stay on all over the weekend. So if you have a little look on the website of Liverpool, you'll see what they're doing. And I really don't see a problem unless we've got this with racism, bullying, because referees are bullied. This is the problems that we're facing, and as I just said, that is what the hurdles that we've got to come across. We put 25 years on it before we think it would be nearly enough perfect. Things are changing all the time. People are working together as a team. Team efforts get results. The kids will know that, they're in teams. And when you work together, that's when the results come forward. We need to work together as a team. We need to get more governing bodies on board. We need to get more funders on board. They're probably the challenges. The funders getting the money behind us. Because as we say, we are volunteers. We go cap in hand. And you know how hard it is, Wayne, yourself, to try and get funded in, because not everyone wants to give you that funding. And we want to put more pressure with the likes of our lads there, who'll go out now to the governing bodies and say, I think you should be putting more money into the likes of Don't Cross the Line campaign that's been established for 18 years, and we're going to go further. And who knows, those young lads there could be the up-and-coming commentators, BBC, Sky Sports, who remember what we've done for them and what you've done for them as well, Wayne. And maybe they can start putting their hands in their pockets and throwing a few bob in to Don't Cross the Line and get people behind us. So yeah, that's the problems, and that's where I see us in the future.
Well, I obviously think that the campaign brilliant. It's just educating people on a daily basis, and you can't get emotional, can't you? In football, football is emotional. You take time to take it out of it, and it's like what VAR does, and it does kill it for the fact. But I think just having that little awareness, and when you go around the pitches and you speak to the parents, I think it's really, really good. Well, thanks very much, Mal, for the interview, guys. Brilliant tonight. Great
Excellent.
questions, fantastic questions and all. And thank you very much, Mark.
Just a quick one before they all go.
I'm going to have to say it right out there. No, now you can.
Right, just a quick
Well,
one
lads.
before we all go, lads.
Stop recording.
You're all out this weekend playing football. Now, don't forget, when you see that referee, please try and get a photo with the referee. Try and get your team around that referee and support that referee. Show that support to that referee if you can. And send it in to myself, mal@don'ttexttheline.com. I'd love you to go out and try. There's a little a plan for you if you can. Get your teams behind the referee this weekend. Try and see what the managers do. Get your managers involved and send them in. And who knows, we're putting a team full of medals in there for you. You could win the prize if it's a really good image of the referee. But even you, Wayne, I'd like to see your image as well when you have your referee the weekend. You're in respect awareness
We've only
weekend.
got one game on Saturday.
So that means one referee then.
So, it's a derby as well, it's a derby, so we're going to get a picture anyway with the both teams, so we'll get the referee involved for you and we'll do that. Brilliant lads, really good questions. I love the way you asked the questions. It'll take time and confidence, but well done.
I'm nervous about me taking photos with the referees tomorrow.
You are?
I've got a game tomorrow, so I'll make sure we get a photo with the ref.
Top man.
Good. Everyone else going to pick game tomorrow? Anyone got a game?
Yeah, I've got a game.
Yeah, get a picture with the ref then, yeah?
Yeah, I'll try to.
Colin, you go, hi Ben, mate. Sorry, I couldn't put you on because obviously I'd already briefed the guys. So I didn't want you saying your name or something. Because I'd already briefed them. We briefed them and we did questions before, but fantastic. Does that feel like you're a bit nervous asking your question?
No, it's fine.
You alright?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
No, not really. I was a bit confident with it, yeah.
Good. So you've just conducted your first interview.
Brilliant.
Easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And well done to all of them.
So well done.